All right, guys. I believe we're live. My name is John Cornwall, and I suppose, to make a little introduction about myself, my own company is JK Capital Investments, and you can check us out on LinkedIn. This is my first and ever attempt at going live, so that's my disclaimer if we have any bloopers. But I'd like to introduce a very good friend of mine and mentor in many ways, both business and personal, and has opened very big doors for me, both in Ireland and abroad. He is the founder and previous owner of the well-known Westport Adventure Park in Ireland. He has a lifetime of experience running a range of different businesses. He has a deep understanding and previous experience in psychology, hypnosis, and as an NLP practitioner. He is a father to 11 kids, husband to his beautiful and supportive wife, Roz, but he is the best known as the top international networker and high-performance coach, also coaching many well-known names in Ireland and the UK. He would also be regarded as one of the top motivational speakers in Ireland and further afield. You can find this man on LinkedIn under Transform. Mr. Lee Tunney-Ware, you are very welcome.
Hello, my friend. How are we doing?
Very good. Very good.
Long time no see.
That's for sure. Me and Lee we've spent most of the week together, I think. I've spent more time with you this week than your wife has. We've been in the UK and London at the Royal Exchange at a networking event. And then we caught up again in Westport again for further chats and discussions.
John bought me dinner.
Yes.
It was lovely. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We have an upcoming super workshop that we're going to talk about, and the link is going to be in the comments below. Lee is going to be hosting this 5-day challenge with Chris Colt. But I suppose to get started, it's fair to say most people want to improve themselves or their lives or their current situation. And the results for many people is they end up binge reading many self-development books and searching for a formula, searching for kind of that key answer. But sometimes it can be a different kind of a block. It can be a mental block from past experiences, failures, trauma. Lee, talk about this upcoming event and talk about how this benefits and will help people to unlock themselves.
Very good. Well, the upcoming event's on it's the Subconscious Synergy Workshop, and how it unblocks them really, or how it supports them, is it enables them to subconsciously remove some of the drama, that's literally going on under the surface. A lot of people try to sort of talk to themselves, through affirmations. A lot of people try to visualize, in their mind to sort of put it on the screen of the subconscious mind. So they're trying to program themselves, rewire their brain, or undo the programming, failing to realize that everything they're doing is actually creating the problem and making it worse in many ways. That's why so many people have to go into these rituals where they get up, I don't know, sometimes 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, they've got this hour or hour and a half, some like 2-hour rituals in the morning and the same in the evening. Because they're trying to literally habitually sort of run it. And like they can be enjoyable, but that doesn't, it actually creates, it's like a placebo belief where they actually feel by doing something that they're actually achieving something. But if they put an ROI on that, how successful have they been, either in their own autonomy, like what does success look like, taste like, feel like, smell like, how has it upskilled them? And do they have to continue doing all those activities or rituals for the rest of their life? Bear in mind, if they're doing an hour a day, 7 days a week, that's just 7 hours of their life gone to reprogram or restructure or rewire or break the matrix, retrain the matrix, whatever language you want to use. When it's actually it's a bit like a conflict, and that's all it is. It's a bit like they split themselves in two. That's how come people are able to talk to themselves. You know, isn't that right, Lee? Absolutely. And they have these conversations with themselves. Bear in mind they're one entity, or that's how come they're able to believe in themselves. And that sounds very normal language, but I need to believe in myself. But it's actually a way of lying to oneself, because you can't believe in yourself. I can believe in you, John. You can believe in me, but I cannot believe in me because I believe from within me to believe in you. Belief is a future-based statement. So I believe in your ability in the future. Trust is a future-based statement. So to love myself, even though so many people say you can do it, I'm a single entity. How do I love myself? Being myself. Being in flow, being in synergy, left brain, right brain, heart, gut and spirit, the 5 modalities lined up, that's flow. That means there's no disconnect. But if any one of those is disconnected, we have the illusion. Bear in mind, the illusion is right brain language, or we have the thought, or we have the belief, which is like left brain, right brain, and your feelings, that we're this separate entity. But when we're in flow, we're in union, we're in synergy. It means we have integrity. Bear in mind that word, integrity. It means it's internal. Or intuition, it means it's internal. If I take it outside, if I take tuition outside of me, it's no longer in, which means I have to take the IN off. It becomes tuition. So when we're in flow, every part of our existence is the dawn of our conception in the universe, not just in this lifetime, if you believe in other lifetimes. So it's when we're in flow, we actually neutralize all the drama karma, and we also deal with all the karma. Some people believe when they look back in their life and they say, well, I've got nothing in my inner child in this lifetime. So then they go to another lifetime to justify why it's not working in this lifetime. When all it is lining up 5 modalities. And that's the first part. That's, you said personal development. A lot of people confuse personal development with skills. Skills is nothing to do with personal development. Skills are like banging a nail in, cutting a piece of wood, doing a Excel spreadsheet, knowing how to use StreamYard, their skills. That's not personal. Personal development is anything you do to improve from inside your skin. So where every part of your existence, whether you're confused and you need to get your thinking straight, that's your left brain. If you haven't got the clarity and you're foggy, that's your right brain. If you're not happy or you're not enjoying, that's your emotions. If you're not motivated or driven, that's your biology, your motor. Or if you're uninspired or not proud, that's your spirit. And if you listen very carefully to people, they actually tell you, and they also tell you why, because that's the 5 modalities of one part. Then it's which timeline of those modalities in. Most times when we talk to people, we talk to their minds or their imagination. And we ask them questions like, do you see what I mean? That means, do you see on the screen of your mind what I'm saying? Are my words like scribing in your mind, like sketching in your mind? Or I could say, do you understand? That's me asking your left brain, do you understand and comprehend what I'm saying? Or I could say, how does that feel to you? Now, which feeling am I on about? Do you feel happy about that, John? Now I'm asking you, do you have a happy, emotional feeling? How do you feel, John? Do you feel we can move forward? That's your biology. You do, your action. How do you feel, John? Do you feel proud about what we're going to do? Do you feel inspired? That's talking to your spirit. A lot of people roll all these up into one big sort of cooking pot, and they allow it all to be done organically. So the subconscious synergy workshop is all about bringing all the pieces together in the present moment. So you're not in the past. Bear in mind, a lot of people talk about the past like it's behind you. It's not. It's within you. Have you ever seen anybody going down the street? I mean, you and I were in London. We saw hundreds of people. We never saw anybody dragging all like the years behind them. But when people talk about the past, they talk about it like way back when, like they're on this big open road and it's all behind them. Or they see obstacles in the future. Yeah, it's going to be a bumpy road ahead. And they're looking into their future. And just when you introduced me, you said about, well, in a sense, people looking to work on themselves or different things like that. And really what they're looking to do is nothing about working on themselves. Really what they're trying to do is do, enough thought, enough imagination, enough feeling in the moment to, one, de-manifest the future that they don't want, that's on the TV of their mind or in their being, and they're trying to superimpose another future. And if they do enough work on themselves, do enough rituals, then they'll be able to broadcast on the TV of their mind the future they want. But all the time they're in split. There are like split personalities, like I can talk to myself, I can believe in myself, I can love myself. All the time they're doing that, they've got two futures. One's the one they're working towards and one's the one they don't want. And all the time they're doing that, they're in two entities, which means 50-50 split. 50% of their energy is working against them. 50% of their consciousness is working for them. So when we have to be aware and conscious and self-conscious and have a self-image, what we're actually doing is trying to, in our conscious mind, is convince ourselves in our left brain and see it in our conscious imagination that we're aware of it, to superimpose those feelings of happy, motivation and joy and like inspiration and passion and purpose within our being. Within our being is our subconscious below the surface. So that's really what we go through, John, is anyone that's struggling, bear in mind struggling is a physical term, that means it's reptilian brain, autonomic sympathetic nervous system, which means it doesn't matter, they can say all the affirmations they want, they can do all the visualization they want, they can do all the meditation they want, but it won't go into the reptilian brain, won't go into the sympathetic or autonomic nervous system because it's running in a feeling, doesn't run in a thought or an affirmation or an image, doesn't work that way. So when it's in the reptilian brain, if we're struggling, if we're stuck, we're spinning our wheels, we're going around in circles, if we feel lost, they're all in the reptilian. That's basically the biology operating system. And it's in a feeling. So you can't communicate to that because it don't talk. It don't listen. If you're confused and you're trying to work a strategy out, a system out, or steps out, or a formula out, yeah, you're in your left brain. That's your thinking. So if you're confused, then you need data. If you want to draw a blueprint out, or draw a plan out, or a map out to where you're going in your future, that's your right brain. And then if you want to get motivated, get the biology, the action, the do in place, that's your biology, that's your gut. That's your autonomic sympathetic nervous system, your reptilian brain. So fear, if you're in fear, that's the biology, not the psychology, not the imagination. If you're seeing something on TV of your mind, as in broadcasting it or thinking it, that's not fear. If you're doing that and you're getting the feelings of fear, that's anxiety. That's us doing it to us. Fear is only for the reptilian brain, for the biology. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn is when the biology is under attack. And there are three options you would have: fight, flight, or freeze. But only if the biology is under attack. If the psychology is under attack in a debate or an argument, yeah, and you go into fear or you go into anger, that's the biology engaging with the psychology. When we're trying to go to our future, what we don't realize is 5 parts of us. If they're aligned, then we're in flow. If one of those parts is out, then we're not in flow. And the confusing part about it all is, which combination are you? Because based on your circumstances, if it's external data, yeah, and somebody says something to you, that's through your auditory, that might trigger the biology. Then that might trigger the imagination. Then that might trigger the emotions, and that might trigger the spirit. Knowing our combinations is how we can take years and years and years of learning and rituals and literally simmer them down, where we can take probably 10 years, 15, 20 years of normal, personal, everyday development, in whether it's retreats, whether it's webinars, it doesn't matter how many courses or how many times you do it. You can take years of study and interaction down to months. And we've run a 90-day accelerator after our subconscious challenge. And in that 90 days, The transformations were unbelievable. Why? Because each one worked out their combination. They mightn't be conscious of everything, but once you become aware of these and start doing your rituals, the right rituals, then what happens is it's no longer subconscious, because you're conscious of the moving parts that actually affect you. So really, that's what it's about, John. And there's a lot there, but it's more for entrepreneurs, business owners, or people that were like corporate transition, who want to, in a sense, make the future they want. I hope that makes sense. Any questions?
That is absolutely super. That is absolutely super. And again, guys, the link is down below. If you're interested in this event, do check it out. It is absolutely fantastic. I suppose there you see as well, again, the language is a big thing. I picked up on that there. The use of certain words. And if you listen to the people again, you can hear the doubts, with the different language they use, I'm hoping for this to work out, or, that kind of language and that. Can you talk a bit more about on that, Lee?
Okay, my friend, it's a good point, because people, when they say like a doubt, what is actually a doubt? And that's the bit, see, or a hope. See, a hope is actually, even though a hope, if we took it into money so people could see it and hear it. If you had $1, or you had £1, or you had €1, each one of those has either 100 cents or 100 pence. So a belief starts at 51 pence or 51 cents and goes all the way up to 99 pence or 99 cents. However strong the belief is, a belief cannot be 100%, and it cannot be anything lower than 51. If it goes below 51 pence or cents, it becomes an opinion. But as soon as it goes over 50 cents or 50 pence, we start to get our feelings involved, our biology or our joy or our spirit. Why is that relevant? Because the truth, not your truth, not my truth, the truth, as in the sun will come up tomorrow, I'm going to draw my next breath, I'm talking to you on a live. None of those, it doesn't matter who they are, the best law in the world could not in any way discredit what I've just said. I breathe for me, that's my right hand, that's my head, that's my nose, they're my lips, all that is true. Nobody needs to believe that. Nobody needs an opinion on that. The only time you need an opinion is when people aren't sure. Or the only time you need to think is when you don't know. Too many people spend their lives thinking, spinning their wheels. And the strange bit as well, which is very weird, so many people do this, is they think on other people's behalf. And I've done this in seminars and webinars and that. Rooms with big audiences, flip chart, write the number down. Yeah, they can't see it. And I offer a reward for anyone that can tell me what the number's on the sheet. I've never had anybody tell me yet. But 6s, 9, 63, 99, 104, 51. And it's 3,506,000. And they laugh. And I say, well, what's my point? I think for me. What does that mean? It means you think for you. So don't waste your time thinking on my behalf, because I do my thinking, you do yours. Why is that relevant? Because when we go into thinking on other people's behalf, that's because we doubt ourselves or doubt them. This is the problem with doubt, see. Doubt is not just doubt. It's the consequences of doubt. What habitual behavior, communication and interaction do you have because of this doubt? And that's just in your left brain. So imposter, overthinking, literally having like an audio in your head where you're putting yourself down, that's in your left brain. Now, if you had two records, one that's been playing for years, really loud, and you come along and go, and the record says you're useless, you're stupid, you're an idiot. All these things are left brain stuff, see? You'll know whether it's like putting you down, or even know what part it's putting you down. I look terrible. Look at my body. Self-shaming, but in the physical and in the visual. So it don't matter how many affirmations you do, because that song's playing loud and clear, and you try and put another song on. The first song, the negative song's playing really loud. It's been playing for years. And you don't tap your foot to it, you march to it. But then you come along with this new voice. I am confident. I am good. I am a great person. I look brilliant. And that noise that's been playing for years just, eats it up. Means nothing. And you might get it right sometimes, where you might feel part of yourself. But that all comes from doubt. So if you're visualizing and it's noise on your brain and you think, oh, this is brilliant, it's working. No, you've just changed the channel. You've gone from auditory to visual and it looks like it's working. Of course it does, because the image doesn't have any noise. You might have all the visual side and the visualization perfect, see it all. You might see yourself running in the image to success. That's seeing yourself running in it and seeing success. That's your right brain and your biology. You put your body into it and you see it. And because of that, you might be happy. That's your emotion. And you might be inspired. That's your spirit. But it's your left brain that's been the problem all along. So you've got 4 modalities and you're doing it all with your visualization. But the problem is the doubt, the imposter, the overthinking, the screaming doubts and insecurities in your left brain. Yeah, the other 4 will not stop noise. That isn't their job. When the 5 modalities, that's where the skill is. No point trying to use tools, a bit like trying to use a hammer to paint a fence. You might be able to achieve it, but I'll tell you, it'd be very, very hard. Using the wrong tool or the wrong modality, you're literally, it's like climbing up Everest on your little fingers. I mean, literally trying to walk up Everest. But you'll have a sense of achievement because you have that resilience and grit. The only time you need resilience and grit is when somebody else superimposes their 5 modalities on you and tries to take your future away and physically or mentally control you. When you need resilience and grit to hold on to your 5 modalities. But if you feel or think or imagine or believe in any way that you need resilience and grit to have success in your life, then you're the hero in your own story, moving from the victim to hero, and your villain is your future. And you're trying to give yourself like these superpowers to overcome your negative kryptonite, because too many people are trying to solve their past. And they go, I'm like this because when I was 6, I'm like this because of my baggage of life. All could be true. But that's past to present. And past to present is the baggage of life. Present to future is anything to do with the baggage of life. Past to present, memories, feelings, echoes. Past to present is how you've sort of programmed yourself or you've been programmed through nature or nurture. And what you embody emotionally, psychologically, in your imagination, in your spirit or your biology, what you embody in the present now. But the best thing ever is when you say to people, why do you think that is? Why do you believe that is? I don't know. I suppose it's because, you have no conscious memory then. You have no real world experience that you remember in your life. Well, I suppose my earliest memory is when I was 3. It must have happened before I was 3. Or it must have happened in another lifetime. And there's nothing wrong with that. According to your beliefs, let it be done unto you. However, if you want success, you cannot take your power away and put it in a previous lifetime. The universe ain't out to get you. It ain't out to get you. What it's supposed to do is, if you follow the teachings, is as you move through a different lifetime, you're an old soul, you've got spiritual, awareness or spiritual energy. But that's in your spirit. That ain't in your psychology. That ain't in your imagination. That ain't in your emotions. And that ain't in your biology. That's in your spirit. So if you're coming from another lifetime, let's say, it's your spirit. Your biology started in this lifetime. Your biology's got no DNA reference from the previous lifetime. It's your spirit. But if your spirit, if you feel low energy, as in spirit energy, chi, excitement, passion, purpose, if that's low, no matter how many lifetimes you've got, because you're buried under the doubts, which is left brain, buried under the fears, which is right brain, buried over the fog, under it, I mean, literally superimposed on it, and you're buried under the unhappiness, all stacked. The good thing about buried, if you can excite your spirit, if you get your spirit right, the spirit will grow right through it. But some people feel they've been buried, but in fact, they've been planted. It doesn't matter what happened in this lifetime. It doesn't matter how many lifetimes it comes. The easiest way to get rid of the baggage of life, get yourself present, without no disrespect to anybody looking at a dot on the wall or sucking a lemon to put you in the present moment and use your senses. Nothing wrong with it. Some of them are very powerful techniques. The techniques we use on another human. Just, if we take mindfulness in today's market, take it back 30 years ago. I mean, when I was a bit younger than you, John, we would call mindfulness self-hypnosis. Yeah, or the silver effect. So many different techniques out there. But really all they enable you to do, you imagine, is to communicate to you. You cannot communicate to yourself. Language is for me to express to another human. If I take that language and start speaking to myself, then all I'm really doing is utilizing a conscious language that other people have reference for and trying to communicate back to myself. How can I communicate to myself when I already know what I'm going to say before I say it? I write my goals down, and then I read them back to myself. Where did they come from? They come from inside me. Why would I parrot fashion what I want back to me when it came from me in the first place? It means we haven't got flow, we haven't got synergy. We're not anchored in our future, in the future we want. We're being dictated to by the trauma and drama and the armor and baggage of life, all superimposed according to your beliefs that be done unto you. And on top of that, throw some real life experience into it that you know you felt. And then that creates these internal feelings that you believe who you are. Nobody ever questions their feelings. They might question their opinion, they might question their thoughts, but their feelings are always real, and they're not. The true feeling, when you taste ice cream for the first time, that's your senses taking on data. But once you've tasted ice cream a few times, then the next time you taste it, you go, yeah, that's not that good ice cream. Or it's not as good as I expected. Or the best ice cream I've ever tasted. It means I'm comparing everything I've ever done. The problem is when we go into the present moment with everything we've ever done, we can never be in the present moment. All we're really doing is asking the present moment to show up to script, to fulfill our expectations, or we feel the pressure of showing up to fulfill other people's expectations, which feels like our freedom of sovereignty and liberty is gone, rather within our own drama or trauma or other people's. So there's so many ways, John, we could talk about this, and bear in mind this live isn't to educate people.
Yes.
How can you educate somebody on themselves? But what I will say is if they've got chatter in their head and they feel that that's getting in their way, that it's not the chatter, it's the feeling. Is it like, and you got to listen to these words, and like when you're talking to people, even today, just your friends, your family, and they're telling you about their future or they're telling you about their past, first of all, be conscious, what part of their life are they telling me about? What part of the human is speaking to them? Is it their left brain? Is it their imagination? Is it their happiness, joy, or sadness, as in their emotion? Is it their biology, their gut? I'm feeling a bit scared about next week. That's the biology superimposing on the future. I'm really excited about going to that Ed Sheeran concert. Oh, your spirit's engaged. If you listen very carefully, you'll hear a very, very common statement. It takes people's futures away, takes people's presents away, and basically anchors them in the negative part of themselves regularly. And the reason you'll hear it every day. I don't care what part of the world, but you'll hear it in multiple different languages. And it's the worst thing ever said, and I don't believe it's been written in any book. I feel like that those words will always feel, I can't do that. Why is that? Well, I feel like I just can't do it. When the can't comes in, not the can, the C-A-N, yeah, I'm a can opener, me. I'm not a can't opener. Yeah. I take can'ts, rub out the apostrophe and rub out the T to get to the can. As soon as an apostrophe and a T comes in, that's a feeling. And it's from a feeling that ain't really real. I feel like, yeah, I feel like I can't do it. I feel like I've got the world on top of me. I feel like nobody loves me. I feel like I'm lonely. I feel like it's the like piece. I feel confident. I feel like I have no confidence. As soon as somebody puts like in, what it actually means is they don't know their feelings. They're expressing a feeling that's like something. Duck's a bit like chicken. It ain't nothing like chicken. But what we do is we are confusing ourselves. Why? Because if you ask me how I feel, I feel like I'm a bit down today, John, or I feel a bit down today. Which one? You feel like you're a bit down, Lee, or I feel a bit down? No, I feel a bit down. Then that's a real expression. I'm feeling a bit down. I feel really happy. I feel really excited. Yeah. I feel really excited. I feel like it doesn't go together. So I'm holding a cup. I feel like I'm holding a cup. Which one is it? If I feel like I'm holding a cup, one of my modalities is gone. So I have to say it feels like something. And all the time it feels like something, I don't know what it is. But when I get rid of the feeling of like and say, well, look, yeah, I don't like that feeling. Oh, well, that's a good one. I don't like that feeling. Brilliant. What are you going to do about it? I don't know. Yeah, you never know how to get rid of a feeling because no is consciousness, feeling, subconsciousness. But deciding you don't want it and deciding what you want in its place is the quickest way to hack your subconscious. Because all the feelings you're having, positive or negative, they're all there for you. Everything you do will come from you. So when you're attacking self, the enemy within, the internal saboteur, yeah, when you've got those feelings, they're your feelings. And that's because we split ourselves because we think or feel or imagine we can believe in ourselves rather than just being ourselves. When we accept we're one entity, the external language is for external use. Belief is for external use from present to future. Trust is for external use, present to future. If we're really good at the five modalities, we can move beyond trust because trust is a negative, not a positive. Why would I need trust? If everything that comes in my life, I know what is coming, why would I need trust? Why would I need belief in the first place? Because I already know the future if I'm the person creating it. And if I'm not putting anything in my future that's coming for me, and you might say, well, Lee, what about other people? You need to trust other people. No, not if I know honor, integrity, authenticity. I don't need trust with you, John. I know who you are. You know who I am. We might have a debate. We might have a difference of opinion. Don't get in each other's way. I'm not sure if that's my connection or yours, buddy. So, but I'll let you go. I know this is your first one. So I'm carried on talking for much longer. So I'm going to go to you.
Yeah. Look, that is absolutely brilliant stuff. And if anybody wants to hear more, learn more, check out the link down below. I think we're freezing again, Lee, are we? I think it's you. It's the Westport connection. Right. Yeah, and look I'm going to give a big shout out to a background person here, Chella, for throwing me in the deep end today. And again, that's what it's all about, is putting yourself out of your comfort zones, pushing forward. And yeah, so Lee, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming on.
And one thing I'd like to say, John, before we go, because there's been loads of data there, the easiest way to hear what I do is whatever's showing up in your reality that you don't want has been somewhere created by someone else or you. Through their thoughts, through their imagination, through their expression of their thoughts through imagination, through words, or through their biology, through action, or through their emotions, or through their spirit. What happens with people, their energies clash. That's where conflicts come. John wants this, Lee wants that. And we feel like life's a competition. We feel like I'm in it to win it, but now John's getting in my way. To have quantum manifestation, quantum creation, quantum futures is when we move from personal development to like community development. Because then when you put a group of people together, learning and interacting and literally getting into their core with some of the exercises and the tools and within the community dynamics, what happens is we create our own reality with real, authentic, genuine interactions where everybody's growing together. And because of that, when you start to hack reality in the quantum meaning more than one, it's no longer personal development. It's community success. It's quantified by the more people that's in the community, the quicker and stronger it grows. And we don't need to have affirmations. Why? Because the community affirms us. We don't need to practice stuff because other people see us. And then we start to get the things honorably and truthfully said to us that we've been trying to say to ourselves. John, you're a phenomenal guy. Yeah, that's why you and I spent a lot of time together this week in the UK. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So, but that's a form of affirmation. But I'm saying that honorably. You're a phenomenal guy. Very, very clever guy. Genius. But they're true words. You can't take true words away. And you can't take real-time experiences away. But what I've just said to you, you might have to say to yourself 1,000 times and it still won't have the impact of me saying it. When I say it on a live, John, you're a phenomenal guy. I mean, you're an absolute genius, and that's the absolute truth. I mean, I've never said truer words. I put it on the record. I've also put it out to whoever sees this because it's the truth. No matter how many affirmations you have, it doesn't matter how many times you visualize, how many times you say it to yourself. You can never take it away one time it's been said authentically. And when you know that person truly means it, you don't need trust, you don't need belief in them because you know they see you. Because they see you, you see them. That means you don't need trust in them. So the community is a very powerful aspect of what we do. Anyway, John, sorry to cut over the end of it.
Lee, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the kind words.
Thank you, John. Thank you, my friend.
That is it. We will leave it there. Take care. And again, check the link, guys. Check the link.